There have always been people who were outside of government wanting to take control of the country's money supply so that they could become filthy rich while at the same time acquiring the immunity of not having to follow any type of law. These people became the bankers of the time. In 1913, those private bankers and the U.S. federal government entered into a joint venture, a cartel if you will, allowing the private bankers to once again control the nation's money supply. Don't overlook the fact that this cartel benefits both parties, and their sinister plan can only be appreciated when we evaluate the process of how Federal Reserve notes are created. In doing so, it's easier if we start at the beginning. Therefore, let's role play for a moment. I'm the Federal Reserve Bank and you are the federal government. You decide to borrow the first 10 Federal Reserve notes, and for this example, we'll call them dollars. You borrow the $10 at 10% interest for 1 year. 10% of $10 is $1. Therefore, you will owe $11 at the end of the year. If I, the Fed, have only created $10 thus far, where are you going to get the other dollar to pay me back? It's actually quite simple. It doesn't exist. And as a result, you will have to borrow another $10 and again at 10% interest. You will then have to take $1 from the second loan and add it to the payment of the first loan, leaving you with $9 remaining. When the second loan becomes due, you will be $2 short. As you can see, once the first loan is accepted, there is no way that you can repay the final loan without first going into more debt. There is no way to repay this type of loan in the same currency in which it was borrowed. This illustration demonstrates how Federal Reserve notes come to exist through debt. This, however, does not rule out the Fed's ability to create more currency at their own discretion from physically creating the paper currency or simply entering some digits into a computer. To think that these people do not create more for themselves in order to buy up the wealth around them is absurd, to say the least, especially since they have the law on their side, forcing the rest of us to play their game and to use their currency as legal tender.